Welcome back, everyone. This is Nate from Nate's Here and There. I'm coming to you today from Christiana Lutheran Church. I am in near Granite Quarry, North Carolina. Um, I thought I'd walk around their cemetery. It looks like a beautiful cemetery. I'll show you. It's a beautiful cemetery, and it's a beautiful church too. I mean, a beautiful church. It was just ringing the bells a minute ago. But I'm going to walk around their cemetery and see what kind of old graves we can find, military. So, grab a chair, sit back on this day the Lord has made, and enjoy. Also, I'm going to start saying this at the first of my videos now. If you want to support the channel, please consider doing so. Hit your bell to notify you when I upload videos just like this one. And I got my Cash App and my PayPal in the description of my channel. So consider donating to the channel. It helps me out a lot. And I got a Patreon page. Go get signed up. What I do over there, I take requests on cemeteries that's really large. There's 2 or 3 parts, or maybe 4 or 5 parts. I take requests over there, so go get yourself signed up. And the first one I come up to is Gilbert Collins Rousseau, 1895 and 1974. He was a Corporal, U.S. Army, World War I. Thank you for your service. And I got to say this too. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that when I come up to a military or a soldier, I click on it, I film it, and I stand there for a moment of silence. So if you hadn't watched any of my videos, you see me doing that, so please don't click off. That's what I'm doing, just a moment of silence. And here is Columbus S. Boston, 1882 to 1974, and his wife, Maudie Lee Boyles, 1892 to 1940. And here's H. Lewis Lavery, 1858 to 1934. And his wife, Camelia Agner Lavery, 1860 to 1946. And here is John Rufus Lavery, 1860 to 1932. And his wife, Martha J. Lingle Lavery, 1863 to 1953. And here is Moses Alexandra Klutz, 1884 to 1960. Roxy Lingle Klutz, 1883 to 1974. And here's Robert Pierce Hoke, 1894 to 1967. Beulah Brown Hoke, 1896 to 1970. And Mr. Robert was in, he was military. It was in Private 5, Company 5th Division, World War I. Thank you for your service. And here's Ruth Brown Hodge, 1908 to 1991. Ink, that's what it says, I'm not joking. Pods, 1904 to 1956. And here is Safrat, Charles Henry Safrat, 1877 to 1944. Rhonda R. Safrat, 1877 to 1947. And here's Charles Brown Sr., Charles Brown Lingle Sr., 1909 to 1992. Bunna Kissler Lingle, 1913 to 2006. And here's Thornton Williams Lingle, 1886 to 1929. Beulah Brown Lingle, 1889 to 1972. And here is Martha Lingle Folk, 1915 to 1986. And here is James Irvin Pethel, 1928 to 2009. Jacob R. Pithel, 1895 to 1972. Lottie Lingle Pithel, 1895 to 1957. And here is Lee Carpenter, 1905 to 2003, with a train going by. There's L.D.H. Brown, 1872 to 1944. And Ida J. Ricci Brown, 1877 to 1967. And here is Charles W. Fink, 1887 to 1950. Electra A. Fink Lingle, 1889 till 1982. Here's Albert L. Lingle, 1860 to 1941. His wife, Martha J. Fisher Lingle, 1864 to 1960. Here's Benjamin M. Troutman, 1905 to 1972. Bessie Allie Troutman, 1914 to 1974. Here's Henry Troutman, 1902 to 1928. I was going to say, I like how this cemetery is set up because about every bit of it's in line with each other. The only thing you got to do is just walk. You ain't got to walk over no, either way. It's in line with each other. Here's George Lee Sr. Klutz, 1908, 2007. Beulah Grayson Marabee Klutz, 1914 to 2004. And they were married on June 2nd, 1932. And here's Daisy Weaver Klutz, 1919 to 2005. John Klutz Sr., 1917 to 1967. And this one, here's a child, I guess. Yes, Burley Ray Klutz, born and died July 12, 1954, infant son. Oh, that's sad. Here's John Calvin Lavery, 1887 to 1968. Mary Trexler Lavery, 1893 to 1989. There's another Mr. Lucille, 1910 to 2002, and Catherine E. Lavery, 1920 to 2020. And here's Carrie Miller Hohauser, 1878 to 1965. James Hohauser, 1875 to 1953. Pearl J. Hohauser, 1898 to 1917. And here is Mary Lingle, 1886 to 1977. John Lingle, 1881 to 1952. Or 1972, I'm sorry. I looked at that wrong. And is Ann Letts Brown, 1875 to 1969. Max Brown, 1879 to 1951. Here's Thomas J. Lavery, 1863 to 1925. His wife, Mary Layla Brown, 1871 to 1938. And here is Emma. Okay, this is going to be weird. This is what I see is going to be weird. In the middle is Sidney A. Lavery, 1881 to 1968. But look at this. He had two wives. Emma M. Letts Lavery, 1886 to 1921. And Roxy Kearns Lavery, 1879 to 1962. And here is Frances Lily Poole, 1877 to 1942, the Trexler. B.C. Trexler, 1879 to 1961. Here's a John Ray Lavery, 1900 to 1945, 45 years old. And this one in Cecil Murray Farrington, there's no kind of indication that they've died yet. And here's Mary Hoshauser Rickman Jones, 1910 to 1991. And here is Morgan Rickman, 1900 to 1951. Here's Paul A. Trexler, 1904 to 1967. Gladys Eagle, well, that's a pretty cool name. Trexler, 1909 to 1963. And here's David Jones, 1882 to 1945. Roxy Jones, 1881 to 1971. And Cora Bell Klutz, 1890 to 1967. Clarence Klutz, 1889 to 1955. And here is Maxwell Lavery, 1853 to 1918. Laura Peeler Lavery, 1860 to 1943. Look at this headstone right here. Look how big this thing is. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is a nice headstone right here. Sorry about that. I hit the button when I didn't want to. But this is Larson Lingle, 1853 to 1940. Polly Elizabeth Peeler, 1854 to 1934. And here's the Reverend G.O.H.L. Lingle, 1878 to 1962. And his wife, Hannah C.H. Lingle, 1880 to 1937. Thank you for your service in the Lord. Now I got to zoom in on this one. But here's Donald Hoke, 1928 to 2004. Naomi Hoke, 1928 to 1990. And here's George Henry Lavery, 1889 to 1968. His wife, Maggie Lingle Lavery, 1892 to 1987. And here, I gotta zoom out a little bit. Here is Jack Jefferson Carl, RM2, U.S. Navy, World War II, 1919 to 2008. Thank you for your service. And here's Robert Lee Lavery, 1894 to 1960. Oh, that's beautiful right there. That's the church bells going. Here's Viola Lingle Lavery, 1894 to 1984. And here's Bobby Ray Hess, Corporal, U.S. Army, Korea, 1930 to 2005. Thank you for your service. And here's Lester D. Eller, 1912 to 1947. Louise Bratton Eller, 1913 to 1990. And Ernest Eller. It just has 1888. That's the only thing it has. And here's George Brown, 1879 to 1942. His wife, Roxy Ann Brown, 1880 to 1959. God gave him, he will restore. He doeth all things well. And here is Mary C. Yates, the wife of Henry Waller, 1876 to 1930. And these right here really don't have anything on them. That one. Here's Ethel Luder Lingle Goodman, the daughter of Carson Mary File Lingle, 1885 to 1980. That was a mouthful right there. And here's Guy H. Coble, 1901 to 1960. May Brown, this is his wife, 1900 to 1990. Oh, she was 90 years old. Here's Isaac Hunsucker, 1881 to 1938. Addie Bradshaw, the wife of Isaac, 1876 to 1947. I've never heard that name, Hunsucker. And here's Robert A. Klutz, 1914 to 1988. Ellie Mae Klutz, 1914 to 1974. Oh, they had a daughter. I just seen this. Eva Pauline, Robert and Ella Klutz's daughter, 1946 to 1946. That's sad. Here's William T. Howard, 1883 till 1948. His wife, Mary Howard, 1882 to 1969. Beautiful headstone, though. And here's Gilbert Garfield Russell, Sergeant, U.S. Army, World War II, Korea, 1925 till 2017. He's a Bronze Star Medal recipient. Thank you for your service. And this is the headstone, but this looks beautiful. This headstone right here looks beautiful. Of Minnie Lillian Hunbara Trexler. I didn't name these people, but 1907 to 1978. Moses Peter Trexler, 1904 to 1954. Here's Julius Miles Kessler, 1911 to 1988. There's Thomas Mills, 1883 to 1949. And his wife, Grace Lingle Mills, 1894 to 1982. This is sad right here. Mary A. Frick, 1891 and 1892. He's only a year old. And, oh, this is the oldest one I found so far. Margaret Frick, 1815 and 1897. Here's another one. Daniel Frick, 1809 to 1889. Here's Reverend Richard L. Brown, 1842 to 1923. His wife, Nancy, 1844 to 1925. But thank both y'all for your service in the Lord. Here's J. Peter Miller, born 1805 to 1896. Ooh, that's a long. That's the oldest. Let's see. One of the oldest ones I found so far. Mary. This is the wife of Peter Miller, 1815 to 1897. And here's Charlie Henry Lavery, 1885 to 1946. Mary Evan Beaver Lavery, 1887 to 1954. And here is Ralph Henry Lavery, 1912 to 1997. Here's David Luther Cobble, 1878 to 1963. Carrie Eller Cobble, 1892 to 1965. I'm sorry I didn't get off of it right then. I love hearing the bells, the church bells. That's just beautiful right there. Oh. Here's May K. Thomas Lavery, 1904 to 1976. Irvin Morris Thomas, 1896 to 1938. And here's C.W. Odin Lingle, North Carolina, Mech 72. Oh, this is a lot of stuff. GP, MTD, MG, TC, World War I, 1893 to 1969. Thank you for your service. And here's A.D. Thomas, 1857 to 1949. And his wife, Evelyn Miller, 1868 till 1922. And here is William Lavery, 1872 to 1952. And his wife, Charlotte Hohauser Lavery, 1874 to 1957. And here's Edwin Lee Davis, U.S. Army, 1937 to 2003. Thank you for your service. Here's Beulah Lavery, 1890 to 1974. Cora Lavery, 1884 to 1967. They were high school teachers. Thank you for your service. And here's Leona McCombs Lavery, 1893 to 1960. Paul J. Lavery, 1893 to 1961. And here's Robert H. Garrison, North Carolina, private company, B-105 engineers, World War I, 1896 to 1969. Thank you for your service. And I gotta say, look at this right here. This is right here is beautiful. It's a memorial. But this is Christina Lutheran Church, organized in 1871. Charter members were Henry Brown, Nathan Brown, Daniel Firk, Miles Miller, Moses Lingle, Charles Lavery, Adam Miller. And these were the pastors. These were the pastors of the church. W.E. Hall was still here. 1970, and he hasn't. I mean, that's what it says. Here's Charles Henry White, 2nd Lieutenant, U.S. Army, Korea, 1932 to 2020. Thank you for your service. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is it for this one. We walked around Christina Lutheran Church here in Granite Quarry, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed it. But be safe. God bless. And we'll catch you on the next one. And remember to let go and let God. Bye now.